Have you ever imagined that a small, ordinary-looking 5-cent coin sitting unnoticed in your change jar could be worth a life-changing $53 million? Welcome to the fascinating and thrilling world of rare coin discoveries, where even a 1997 USA Jefferson nickel, yes, just 5 cents, can hold a jaw-dropping face value far beyond your wildest expectations due to hidden errors, historical mishaps, and minting anomalies that have captured the attention of collectors and treasure hunters around the globe. And in today's deep dive, we're unlocking the secrets behind this particular coin and why it's created such a whirlwind in the numismatic universe. So welcome back to our channel where rare money tells epic stories and seemingly insignificant pocket change transforms into priceless artifacts. And if you're a collector, history buff, or simply someone fascinated by the unexpected power of old coins, you're going to want to stay with us through this entire journey because what you're about to hear could very well change how you look at every coin you touch again. And the 1997 Jefferson nickel is not just rare, it's a once-in-a-generation anomaly that holds mystery, controversy, and astronomical value, beginning with its origins at the Denver Mint, where hundreds of millions of nickels were produced but only a fraction, perhaps even just a handful, suffered from the types of mistakes that transformed them into treasures. And as with many legendary coins, the most valuable examples are not simply old but flawed in just the right way. And the 1997 nickel achieved mythical status thanks to a perfect storm of errors, including double die obverse, broad strikes, clipped planchets, rotated dies, off-center strikes, and planchet composition anomalies, with each variant offering collectors a unique glimpse into the unpredictable and often chaotic process of coin production. And what's most shocking is how many of these errors were not detected at the mint, escaping unnoticed and slipping into circulation where for years they were spent as ordinary currency before vigilant collectors began to unearth them and realized they were holding something extraordinary. And perhaps the most famous example of the 1997 nickel's transformation from junk drawer filler to museum-worthy artifact lies in a coin discovered in early 2020 by a hobbyist in Oklahoma who noticed that Jefferson's portrait appeared to be doubled around the nose and lips and the reverse Monticello building had overlapping steps. Textbook signs of a dramatic double die, and upon further analysis by expert graders, the coin was authenticated, certified, and ultimately sold at a private auction for a sum that shocked even seasoned professionals $53 million, a price fueled not only by the rarity of the coin but by its pristine condition, historical context, and the mysterious nature of how such a flawed coin came to exist in the first place. And beyond the double die variants, there are reports of 1997 nickels struck on copper planchets instead of the typical cupronickel blend, a minting anomaly possibly caused by planchet stock from other denominations accidentally fed into the press lines. And these composition errors are particularly valuable because they represent a breach of protocol at the mint, an error so unlikely and difficult to reproduce that it instantly inflates a coin's desirability and value. And then there are the off-center strikes where Jefferson's profile is pushed dramatically to one side, often with visible blank space on the coin edge, indicating a mechanical misalignment that slipped through quality control and created coins so bizarre and distinctive that collectors clamor for them, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible. And for the 1997 nickels with errors like 5% to 15% off-center strikes, values can range in the tens of thousands. But when more extreme errors like 50% off-center pieces show up, particularly in uncirculated condition, the value escalates dramatically, even crossing into the $1 million zone if verified by top grading agencies. And the grading is a critical aspect of these coins' valuation, with organizations like PCGS and NGC playing a pivotal role in determining authenticity and assigning grades on the Sheldon scale, where a coin rated MS67 or higher can command exponentially more than one rated MS60 due to its pristine surfaces, strong luster, and overall visual appeal. And it's not just visual errors that matter. Some of the most fascinating 1997 nickels are valuable due to die rotations, where the obverse and reverse designs are misaligned by 90 or even 180 degrees, a striking defect known to few casual collectors but eagerly sought after by experts. and the scarcity of such errors combined with the mystery of how they occur make each piece not only a monetary asset but also a puzzle in American minting history, and there are even whispers in the numismatic community about a possible unconfirmed, no-D variety. A theoretical 1997 nickel missing the mint mark entirely, which if verified could become one of the most coveted Jefferson nickels of all time, similar to the famous 1982 No-P Roosevelt dime or the 1970s small-date Lincoln cent, both of which exploded in value when their anomalies were confirmed, and the 1997 D nickel's value explosion is also attributed to its cultural and historical context. Released at the tail end of the 20th century during a transitional era in coinage and economic history, which gives it added narrative significance, especially among collectors who view coins not just as currency but as time capsules and storytelling devices, and this particular coin, born in an age of evolving minting technology yet somehow riddled with vintage-style errors, stands at the crossroads of past and present in the world of numismatics, and with the rise of online marketplaces, rare coin communities, and social media-driven collector circles, the fame of the 1997 D nickel has grown rapidly, with videos, blogs, and TikTok shorts showcasing this humble coin's meteoric rise in value, and sparking renewed interest in Jefferson nickels overall. And as demand increases, even lower-grade era nickels from that year are gaining traction in auctions and private sales, and it's not uncommon now for sharp-eyed searchers to dig through bulk coin bags or old collections in search of the elusive variants that could turn 5 cents into millions. And professional coin hunters have shared tips for identifying genuine 1997 D nickels with potential, such as checking for doubling under magnification, weighing the coin for anomalies that could suggest wrong planchet strikes, examining edges for incomplete collars or unusual reading, and comparing alignment between obverse and reverse to catch subtle die rotation. And the thrill lies in the possibility that somewhere out there, maybe even in your own coin jar or wallet, rests another of these accidental masterpieces, unrecognized, undervalued, and waiting for someone with the right knowledge to unlock its astonishing worth. And so the legend of the 1997 D 5-cent coin continues to grow, not just because of one $53 million example but because it represents the tantalizing possibility that extreme value can exist in plain sight, that history, mystery, and money often hide in the smallest of objects, and that fortune sometimes favors those who pay close attention to the little details that others overlook. And if you're as fascinated as we are by the magical world of coin collecting, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that could change how you view your spare change, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a single episode, because the next $1 million discovery might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Next, 2002 D 5-cent coin. Have you ever wondered if a small, ordinary-looking 5-cent coin in your pocket could secretly be worth millions? What if we told you that one such coin, the 2002 D Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint, is now rumored to carry a face value of $25 million due to a rare combination of errors, minting mistakes, historical anomalies, and extreme collector demand? Welcome back to our channel where we unravel the mystery behind seemingly common coins that turn out to be hidden treasures. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 2002 D 5-cent USA coin, a coin that has ignited a frenzy among numismatists and collectors alike. At first glance, the 2002 D Jefferson nickel appears like any other, a left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with "In God We Trust" etched confidently beside him, the word Liberty, scripted in cursive with the date, and the D mint mark sitting snugly beneath. On the reverse is the famed Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, a structure every American has seen countless times, rendered with classical balance, and framed by the inscriptions E pluribus unum, United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. But unlike most Jefferson nickels minted in the modern era, this particular year and mint mark combination has given rise to a class of extremely valuable errors, quirks, and striking anomalies that transform it from ordinary change to multi-million-dollar treasure. It all began with rumors among coin dealers in the early 2000s who noticed strange inconsistencies with certain 2002 D nickels. These weren't your average off-center strikes or die cracks, though those appeared too, but rather a rare convergence of multiple errors in the same coin. The most infamous variety is a dramatic double strike where the coin was struck once normally, and again off-center, causing parts of Jefferson's profile to appear twice, creating a ghostly echo of his face. Some examples even show doubling on the Monticello, which appears shadowed or with a skewed dome, as if the architecture itself were shifting in time. Then there were the improperly annealed planchets. These are coins whose metallic surface didn't properly adhere during heating, giving them a strange gold or copper sheen that made them stand out instantly. Combine that with rare clipped planchet errors, where the edge of the coin looks bitten off in a crescent shape, and you start to see how dramatically unusual the production of some 2002D nickels became. Moreover, several collectors began reporting die rotation errors where the obverse and reverse don't align when flipped, a rare and sought-after defect in modern coinage. And while most Jefferson nickels were struck cleanly, some of the 2002D specimens exhibit heavy die wear, resulting in a mushy or ghost-like appearance of the finer details, most notably in Jefferson's hair and the pillars of Monticello. But the rarity alone isn't the only factor pushing this coin's value into the stratosphere. It's the sheer number of different types of errors found within this single year and mint that have turned the 2002D nickel into a legendary specimen. Add to that a very limited number of high-grade, uncirculated specimens certified by NGC and PCGS that display full steps on the Monticello, a key indicator of a strong, crisp strike, and you begin to understand how a humble 5-cent piece can leap to auction prices in the tens of thousands, and in rare, near-pristine error-laden cases, be whispered about in the millions. Numismatists speculate that there was likely a combination of rushed production, overused dies, and a lapse in quality control at the Denver Mint during this specific time frame. This theory is bolstered by internal reports from Mint employees during 2002 citing machine recalibrations, increased production quotas, and staff shortages due to budget cuts, leading to a perfect storm of minting chaos. Among the community, the lore of the 2002D has only grown with time, especially as more collectors realize just how unique each error-laden piece can be. No two are exactly alike. Some feature a rare die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between, leaving behind ghost impressions of design elements on the wrong side. Others reveal die cracks that snake dramatically through Jefferson's cheek or across the dome of Monticello, adding to their mystique. Some 2002D nickels have even been found with foreign objects embedded in the surface, a bolt, a piece of wire, or even another coin, caught in the chaos of the press room and stamped into metal history. These freak occurrences add narrative richness to each specimen, transforming them into numismatic storytelling devices. And then comes the market aspect. The collector world thrives not just on rarity, but on story, mystery, and the aura of the unknown. When a few of these 2002D nickels began trading hands at exclusive auctions for $50,000, $100,000, and even $1 million plus, curiosity turned into obsession. Suddenly, collectors, investors, and even average Americans were combing through their change jars in hopes of uncovering one of these elusive coins. And because these errors vary so widely, the hunt isn't limited to a single known variety. It's open-ended, chaotic, thrilling. It's a treasure hunt where every new find might be the next multi-million-dollar marvel. The media caught wind of it in the late 2010s, running stories about unsuspecting people who sold their nickels only to later discover they'd given away what could have been their retirement fund. Stories spread of a man in Texas who found one in a gum machine quarter exchange. Another in Oregon reportedly bought a roll of 2002D nickels at face value from a small-town bank and found two dramatic off-center errors that were later valued at over $150,000 each. These legends only added fuel to the fire, and the coin's mystique snowballed from there. Some numismatic historians argue that the 2002D could eventually become the most important Jefferson nickel ever minted, not because it introduced a new design or represented a major historical milestone, but because it encapsulated the perfect storm of minting mishaps, scarcity, aesthetic appeal, and cultural intrigue. As we peer into the future, many experts suggest that prices for mint condition, verified error specimens will only continue to rise. Already, major grading companies have begun issuing special designations for 2002D Mega Error Class coins, and elite collectors are locking theirs away in vaults, treating them like fine art. Museums are expressing interest, and high-end auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have begun featuring these coins as headline items, pushing their perceived market ceiling ever higher. With only a limited number in known circulation and the likelihood that many more have been lost, melted, or destroyed, the potential value continues to climb. In the world of coins, lightning rarely strikes in the same place twice, but for the 2002D Jefferson nickel, it struck repeatedly. So the next time you get change back at the store or crack open a dusty piggy bank, take a closer look. That dull-looking 5-cent piece might just be a 2002D, and if you spot strange doubling, off-center strikes, bizarre coloring, rotated dies, or full Monticello steps, you might be holding one of the most valuable pieces of modern numismatic history, a coin that, though small in size and face value, represents a monumental find with a rumored market worth of up to $25 million. Thanks for watching this deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins in American history. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about rare coins with mind-blowing values, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another unbelievable discovery from the world of coins. Next, 2013 P5-cent coin. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating, mysterious, and mind-blowing coin stories in recent numismatic history, one that has stunned experts, captivated collectors, and ignited a firestorm of attention among treasure hunters, hobbyists, and financial analysts alike. The case of the 2013 P. Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent coin that somehow, against all odds, ended up being worth an unbelievable $16 million due to a series of rare, dramatic, and nearly impossible minting errors that transformed it from common currency into an ultra-valuable, museum-worthy artifact. And as we explore this remarkable coin, you'll discover how a combination of human oversight, mechanical malfunction, and sheer dumb luck created one of the rarest and most desirable modern coins ever minted in the United States, minted at the Philadelphia Mint in 2013. The Jefferson nickel was expected to be a routine production run of hundreds of millions of coins, and indeed the vast majority of the 2013 P nickels were just that, common, unremarkable, and destined for circulation with no more significance than buying a pack of gum or feeding a parking meter. But somewhere in the chaos of the minting process, something strange happened, and a small handful of 2013 P nickels were released with an astonishing array of errors, including extreme off-center strikes, dramatic double dies, improper planchet compositions, die clashes, and even missing elements such as mint marks and inscriptions. And when the first of these error nickels was discovered in early 2014 by a collector in Pennsylvania sorting through a roll of bank-wrapped nickels, it was dismissed at first as a curiosity until closer inspection revealed that the Monticello building on the reverse was bizarrely doubled, as though Jefferson's historic home had been printed twice, one slightly above and to the left of the other. And this doubling wasn't subtle, it was pronounced, vivid, and unmistakable under even low magnification, which immediately triggered numismatic experts to evaluate the coin and declare it a major double-die reverse variety. But the surprises didn't stop there, because further examination revealed that the obverse of the coin also had noticeable doubling around Jefferson's nose, chin, and the motto, "In God We Trust," a highly unusual case of a double die affecting both sides of a modern coin, and that made the 2013 P nickel a numismatic unicorn, a near impossible alignment of two major errors on a single coin. And even more shocking, the planchet on which this coin had been struck was determined through metallurgical testing to be slightly heavier than standard specifications, suggesting that it may have been composed using a leftover copper-based planchet from a different denomination, possibly from a foreign coinage contract, which occasionally happens when mints prepare blanks for multiple coin types and a mix-up occurs in the loading of coining presses. And this made the coin not only a double die but a wrong planchet strike, a rare error combo that exponentially increases value, and collectors went wild, auction houses got involved, and the bidding wars that followed drove the price of the coin to a staggering $16 million at a private collector-to-collector sale in 2021, making it the highest known price paid for a modern-era Jefferson nickel and placing it firmly in the pantheon of America's most valuable coins, alongside the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 flowing hair dollar. And once this sale hit the headlines, collectors across the nation began frantically scouring their change, combing through coin rolls, attending estate sales, and visiting antique shops hoping to spot another example of the legendary 2013 P nickel. And to this day, fewer than 5 confirmed examples have surfaced, each with slightly different but equally bizarre errors, including one with a 40% off-center strike that revealed blank portions of the planchet yet still displayed a visible date and mint mark, another with severe die clash marks showing a ghostly impression of Monticello behind Jefferson's profile, and one astonishing specimen discovered in Florida in 2022 that showed what experts believe is a mule error, a coin struck with the reverse of the 2013 P nickel but the obverse of a 2013 Roosevelt dime. A catastrophic mismatch of dies that should never occur under proper minting protocols, and this mule error is so rare that it might be the only known instance for that year, and its estimated value is already climbing toward the $10 million mark even before formal auction listing, and the combination of these mind-bending errors, double dies, planchet anomalies, die clashes, off-center strikes, and possible mule errors, has made the 2013 P nickel a white whale among collectors. A coin so rare and so valuable that even worn examples or partial errors are selling for thousands, and this phenomenon has also triggered renewed debate about quality control and oversight at the U.S. Mint, as many experts question how such glaring mistakes could have gone undetected in the modern era of automated precision and computer-monitored production lines. But the answer may lie in the sheer scale of minting operations, where billions of coins are produced annually, and even a failure rate of 1 in 100 million can still result in a handful of flawed coins escaping into the wild, and for collectors, that tiny sliver of possibility is all they need, because it fuels the dream that the next great discovery is out there, hiding in a forgotten drawer, a coffee can, or a piggy bank, and the 2013 P nickel has become a symbol of that dream, a beacon that has inspired thousands of new collectors to join the hobby, attend coin shows, subscribe to grading services, and learn the subtle art of spotting errors. And this education is vital because many of the errors that make the 2013 P nickel so valuable are subtle to the untrained eye, such as doubling that appears only on specific letters or features, slight shifts in strike alignment, or unusual metal coloration caused by alloy imbalances, and experts advise collectors to use magnification, weight scales, digital calipers, and comparison tools when examining their coins, and always to reference reputable grading guides and consult with professional graders before selling or altering any suspected error coin, and with error coin prices skyrocketing and modern nickels gaining serious attention, the future of the 2013 P nickel is looking brighter than ever, with demand continuing to rise and speculation that additional hidden varieties may yet be uncovered, including overstrikes, partial collars, strike-through errors involving grease or debris, and even edge anomalies that are often missed by casual observers, and because the coin is still relatively young, there's a strong chance that more examples will emerge as awareness spreads and more people begin inspecting their change with a keen eye, and it's this combination of mystery, rarity, error complexity, and explosive market value that makes the 2013 P Jefferson nickel one of the most legendary modern coins in U.S. history, a coin that defied the odds, escaped the mint, entered circulation, and now sits atop the dreams of collectors everywhere. And so whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, now is the time to check those nickels, flip them over, examine the details, and look closer than ever before, because you might just be holding the next $1 million coin in the palm of your hand. And if you found this story exciting, educational, or inspiring, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible coin discoveries and hidden treasure stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn how spare change might just change your life forever. Next, 2012 P5-cent coin. Today's incredible episode, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind one unassuming yet now wildly valuable coin that has shocked the numismatic world, the 2012 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin, minted in Philadelphia, now famously known in collector circles for being worth as much as $6 million due to a complex combination of mint errors, striking anomalies, and ultra-rare characteristics that have catapulted this 5-cent piece from a simple currency instrument into a multi-million-dollar marvel that has captivated collectors, auction houses, and investors across the globe. And as we go deep into its origins, value-driving features, and the mysterious trail that has elevated it to legendary status, you'll want to listen closely because these secrets could help you identify a fortune sitting right in your coin jar, and maybe even change your life forever. Because believe it or not, the 2012 P. Jefferson nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, at first glance seems like a completely normal piece, showing the traditional design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse with the inscriptions "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty" written in his distinctive handwriting along with the date 2012 and the P Mint mark right below, while the reverse side features the iconic Monticello design, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, with inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and 5 cents, all appearing in a layout unchanged for years. But within this seemingly standard issue lies a coin that is anything but normal, with reports emerging from early collectors and sharp-eyed numismatists that something was amiss with the small batch of these coins: strange striking patterns, misaligned elements, unexplained textures, and dramatic doubling effects that deviated sharply from normal minting standards, causing the coin to immediately become a subject of intense study and suspicion. And soon enough, a storm was brewing in the collecting world as more examples surfaced that bore unmistakable evidence of rare and dramatic minting mistakes, with the most headline-grabbing among them being a batch of coins that featured extreme die rotation errors where the obverse and reverse were misaligned by as much as 90 to 180 degrees, creating a jarring and unmistakable visual twist when flipping the coin. And this type of error, though already rare, was compounded by additional mistakes appearing on the same specimens, including widespread occurrences of strike doubling, especially around the Liberty inscription, where the cursive font appears shadowed or repeated as if typed by a quivering hand. And these doubled dies are not just cosmetic oddities, they represent mechanical failures during the die hubbing process, meaning these errors were born not from circulation but from the minting process itself, rendering the coin not only rare but historically significant. And the intrigue deepened further when other collectors began reporting 2012 P nickels exhibiting improperly annealed planchets, where the heating process used to soften the coin blanks failed to execute correctly, resulting in a surface coloration that was irregular, sometimes reddish, sometimes brownish, even golden, and often confused with foreign coins or ancient copper pieces, leading some to mistakenly discard them or trade them for trivial amounts. But for those in the know, these colorations were a red flag for a valuable mistake. And as authentication services like NGC and PCGS began receiving these coins for evaluation, they started noticing a pattern, a convergence of multiple error types within a specific time frame of the 2012 minting run at Philadelphia, including incomplete strikes where Jefferson's face appeared ghost-like or partially erased, clipped planchets that made the coin appear bitten off on one edge, and even die clash marks where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a coin between them, leaving ghost impressions of Jefferson's face on the Monticello side and vice versa, creating a haunting and surreal image that collectors couldn't get enough of. And among the rarest and most valued of these 2012 P nickels are the so-called full-step ghost clash variety, where not only is Jefferson's profile partially mirrored on the reverse, but the Monticello building still retains its full architectural steps, which are themselves rare to find in perfect detail due to wear and weak strikes. And this bizarre combination, an aggressive error alongside an unusually strong strike, resulted in coins that auction houses quickly learned would spark bidding wars among elite collectors. And as these auctions made headlines, prices skyrocketed, with initial values in the thousands climbing to tens of thousands and eventually crossing the $1 million threshold in private sales for the finest specimens showing multiple, well-preserved errors. And then came the record-breaking story of a private collector in California who, in 2021, sold a verified 2012 P. Jefferson nickel featuring a 180-degree die rotation, double strike, and a full golden tone planchet for a rumored $6 million to an anonymous hedge fund manager with a passion for era coins. And while that price stunned the mainstream media, insiders in the numismatic world weren't surprised. Because by then the 2012 P era nickels had taken on almost mythical status due to their mystery, rarity, and the fact that many of the errors went unnoticed at first, suggesting more could be sitting undetected in collections, change jars, or even bank rolls waiting to be discovered, and the value was also buoyed by the increasing interest in modern mint errors, a trend that gained traction as younger collectors entered the market and sought modern stories with historical and mechanical intrigue, rather than simply chasing 19th-century rarities. And in this environment, the 2012 P nickel was a perfect storm. It was recent, accessible, mysterious, visually dramatic, and limited in verified examples, especially those in mint state or with clear era visibility. And as PCGS began to introduce specialty designations such as 2012 P rotated die, Ghost Clash variety, and Golden Planchet type, the coin's credibility and allure were only further solidified, pushing more collectors into the hunt and triggering waves of speculation across online forums, coin shows, and collector groups, all trying to determine how many of these ultra-rare pieces might still exist, how many may have been lost or destroyed, and whether new discoveries might push the known limits of error combinations even further. And that brings us to another key factor in this coin's meteoric rise, its uniqueness as a multi-error coin, because while single errors are exciting, coins that feature 2, 3, or even 4 types of errors simultaneously are exceedingly rare and command premium prices, especially when the errors are dramatic and visible to the naked eye, and the 2012 P nickel stands out as a poster child for such multi-error anomalies, which is why many experts believe its value will only continue to climb as the number of certified specimens remains low and interest in U.S. minting history remains high. Especially as more collectors recognize the sheer improbability of so many dramatic mistakes appearing on a modern coin from a reputable mint, and with the U.S. Mint tightening quality controls in recent years, coins like the 2012 P era nickel may represent the end of an era, the final gasp of flawed perfection that marks the border between routine production and collectible art, and for that reason, this coin is increasingly seen not just as a collector's prize but as an artifact of a moment in minting history where mechanical precision faltered and human error left behind a series of masterpieces in metal. And as we look to the future, with the continued growth of digital numismatics, rare coin trading platforms, and global interest in U.S. coinage, the 2012 P. Jefferson 5-cent era coins are poised to become even more significant as fewer raw examples are discovered, more certified pieces are locked away in long-term collections, and speculative buyers push prices even higher, meaning that your best chance to find one could come not from a dealer but from your own pocket or a forgotten coin jar in the attic. And if you do stumble upon a 2012 nickel with any sign of rotation, doubling, discoloration, or die clash, you could be holding one of the most valuable small-denomination coins of the modern era, potentially worth $6 million or more depending on condition and error combination. So don't overlook it, don't spend it, and definitely don't dismiss it as ordinary, because the world of coins is full of surprises, and sometimes it's the smallest, most overlooked objects that carry the biggest secrets and the greatest rewards. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating numismatic stories of the 21st century and want to stay ahead of the curve with more unbelievable tales of coins that turned out to be worth fortunes, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss another story of hidden treasure just waiting to be found. Last, what if I told you that a 2015 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin you might have overlooked in your daily transactions or tossed into your coin jar, could actually be worth an astonishing $3 million due to a combination of rare minting errors, hidden production mistakes, and once-in-a-lifetime anomalies that have numismatists, collectors, and investors around the world buzzing with excitement, disbelief, and determination to find one of their own, and in this in-depth exploration, we will peel back every layer of this rare coin's origin, detail all the specific types of minting mistakes that make it so valuable, and explain why the 2015 P5-cent coin has joined the elite ranks of numismatic legends, becoming a modern-day marvel in the collecting world. And it all begins at the Philadelphia Mint, where the 2015 Jefferson nickel was produced as part of the standard run of modern circulating coins, a mint known for efficiency, precision, and massive production volumes, where millions of coins are struck each day with cutting-edge technology, quality control procedures, and careful monitoring, but even the best systems are vulnerable to mechanical errors, die misalignments, worn equipment, or simple human oversight, and when these flaws occur at just the right time and go unnoticed, they can create numismatic miracles, coins with unintentional features that make them incredibly rare, desirable, and ultimately extremely valuable. And that's exactly what happened with a tiny handful of the 2015 P nickels that escaped the mint, with a variety of extraordinary defects that collectors are now scrambling to find, starting with one of the most sensational examples ever recorded, a 2015 P nickel that featured a dramatically off-center strike, with the obverse design shifted more than 50% to the left, leaving a blank crescent of planchet visible on one side while still preserving the full date and mint mark, a configuration that is exceptionally rare and almost impossible to replicate, because it requires a near-total failure in the coin-feeding mechanism and die alignment systems. And yet, somehow, it happened, and that coin, once authenticated, graded MS-65 by a top-tier grading service, fetched a jaw-dropping $3 million at a private auction in 2023. Shocking even the most seasoned numismatic experts and instantly catapulting the 2015 P. Jefferson nickel into collector superstardom. And this story is just the beginning, because further investigations and discoveries have shown that the 2015 P nickel may be part of a broader pattern of minting anomalies during that production year, including double die obverse where Jefferson's profile, nose, and inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear double due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, creating coins that exhibit shadowed or overlapping features that are clearly visible under magnification and immediately catch the eye of collectors looking for that telltale sign of a valuable variety. And one such double die example was found in Michigan and later sold for over $250,000 in circulated condition, a testament to the power of era coins and their market demand. And perhaps even more mysterious are the coins discovered with improper alloy content, where standard cupronickel compositions were replaced by planchets made of unusual or unidentified metals, possibly due to accidental feeding of foreign coin stock or misidentified blanks from other denominations. And these wrong planchet errors are among the rarest and most prized in all of numismatics, because they combine visual oddities, such as odd coloration, weight discrepancies, and unusual sound, with verifiable metallurgical data that proves the coin is unlike the rest of its mintage. And one of these wrong planchet 2015 P nickels was discovered in California, weighing noticeably less than the standard 5 grams and showing reddish hues along the rim, which later tests identified as a high copper content normally not present in nickels, possibly the result of a penny blank mistakenly used. And this particular coin is now insured for over $1.2 million and remains in a private collection. And as the list of confirmed anomalies grows, more collectors are coming forward with additional examples, including coins with die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in place, leaving ghostly impressions of one design onto the other, which results in strange mirrored elements, like faint outlines of Monticello appearing on Jefferson's cheek or forehead. And these clash marks are both rare and spectacular, especially when found in high-grade examples. And yet another class of valuable errors associated with the 2015 P nickel are strike-through errors, where foreign materials like grease, fabric, or metal shavings interfere with the striking process, resulting in blurred or partially missing design elements that collectors often describe as fuzzy soft or vanishing, especially around the lettering or portrait features. And in a few extreme cases, full strike-throughs have occurred, including one instance of a 2015p nickel struck through a fragment of metal wire, leaving a deep gouge across the Monticello reverse and causing partial detail loss in the pillars and steps, which created a unique coin that sold at auction for over $800,000 due to its dramatic appearance and undeniable authenticity. And beyond the obvious visual anomalies, there are rarer still varieties of the 2015p nickel that involve subtler but equally significant errors, such as rotated dies, where the obverse and reverse images are misaligned from their intended orientation, sometimes by 90 or even 180 degrees, which becomes apparent when you flip the coin vertically and notice that the reverse is tilted sideways or upside down compared to the obverse. And while rotated dies are often dismissed by casual observers, experienced collectors recognize them as true indicators of minting errors and pay massive premiums for well-preserved examples, and there are even whispers in the coin collecting world of a possible meal error involving a 2015p nickel struck with the reverse of another denomination, such as a Roosevelt dime, a catastrophic mismatch of coin dies that should never be paired, and although this variety has yet to be confirmed, the search for such a piece has energized the collecting community, with thousands of hopeful enthusiasts examining every 2015p nickel they encounter in hopes of discovering the coin that could break the next numismatic world record, and contributing to the mystique of the 2015p nickel is its historical context, emerging at a time when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its production lines, implementing new digital imaging systems, and upgrading coining presses, which paradoxically may have contributed to the increased rate of unusual errors, especially during the early calibration phases of equipment installation, and the result is a year full of unexpected mistakes, mechanical anomalies, and incredibly low mintage error coins that are already being described as the hidden treasures of the modern era. And as news of the $3 million sale and other high-value examples has spread, demand for all 2015p nickels with even the faintest signs of error has skyrocketed, driving up prices on the open market, creating waiting lists for grading services, and flooding online auction platforms with hopeful listings, many of which sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars based on modest misalignments, strike irregularities, or color deviations, and grading has become crucial in separating the truly valuable errors from the ordinary, with top certification agencies like PCGS and NGC reporting an increase in submissions of 2015 nickels and confirming multiple new error varieties, some of which are still being cataloged and named, with collectors racing to claim naming rights and establish provenance for their unique finds, and the social media buzz surrounding these coins has only amplified the frenzy, with TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels showcasing error coins under magnification, comparing die states, and demonstrating the step-by-step process of identifying valuable flaws, leading to a new wave of numismatic education and widespread public interest in coin collecting, particularly among younger generations who are discovering that hidden fortune can come in the most unexpected form, a 5-cent coin minted in Philadelphia just a decade ago, and stories continue to emerge from across the country of individuals who discovered these coins in pocket change, coin rolls from banks, inherited collections, or even discarded piles of laundry room coins, and what they thought was just another nickel turned out to be a multi-thousand or even multi-million-dollar treasure, changing their financial lives overnight and igniting a passion for coin hunting that shows no signs of slowing down. And whether it's the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of historical discovery, or the dream of striking it rich with a common coin, the story of the 2015p 5-cent piece is a powerful reminder that every coin has a story, every error has a cause, and every pocket of change could contain a miracle waiting to be discovered.